What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, alright, coming back to Xdinary Heroes. Yes, indeed. Xdinary Heroes fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-boobidi bop, do me a favor, before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Charles B, and this is actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of December for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, here you go, Charles. Hope you enjoy the show. Charles B wanted to see me react to this. It is Xdinary Heroes with a tune entitled Xymphony. Now, have I heard this song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, haha, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. As always, Charles has provided me with a bit of an intro here for me to read to all of you, so here we go. Last month, you reacted to Xdinary Heroes' Feeling Nice, track 6 from their EP, is it Live and Fall or Live and, I think it's Live and Fall. Today's song, Xymphony, pronounced just like symphony, there we go, is the very next track on that EP. Like Feeling Nice, Xymphony wasn't released as a single, unlike the first 3 tracks from the Live and Fall EP that you reviewed, which were Boy Comics, Love and Fear, and Instead. As you should already know, the band has 2 members on keyboards, but each with distinct duties. Ode, okay, so it's pronounced, alright, Ode, pronounced like the English word ode, specializes in synth sounds, while Youngsu plays piano-style keys, so more of a melodic playing. I got it, okay. A unique aspect of Xymphony is that it shines a particular spotlight on Youngsu, giving him greater prominence than usual. Even though it wasn't a single, thankfully, on October 24th, 2024, 10 days after the Live and Fall EP dropped, Xdinary Heroes uploaded a video performance of Xymphony to their official YouTube channel as part of their ongoing live clip series that you've reacted to before, of many of their tunes, including last month's Feeling Nice. As of now, that upload is now sitting at close to 850,000 views, but no English subtitle translation was provided. That's where I stepped in. I commissioned a high-quality English translation, embedded it as subtitles, and recently uploaded the updated video on my Odyssey channel. So for those of you watching, if you want to experience Xymphony with its full lyrical meaning, make sure to click on the link below this video and in the description box to see it on my channel at Odyssey. Finally, one last note, in my intro for your reaction to Boy Comics, I mentioned that Xdinary Heroes' first US tour in July 2024 saw such high demand that they added an extra show to their LA stop. While these guys are still making moves in the US, as they took the stage at Lollapalooza on July 31st, 2025, as part of the opening night lineup at Grant Park in Chicago. Cool. All right. Let's see. This was posted by the Running Man Subs over on Odyssey. I'll make sure to put the link down below in the description. And as it stands right now, the video has 7 views. Well, there you go. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Xdinary Heroes, Xymphony, live clip, high quality English translation. Cool. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
발을 들여놓은 순간부터 울려 퍼진 희미하고 작은 소리 Where this is coming from 무음으로 가득 찼던 소음에 지나지 않던 내 세상이 뒤틀리기 전 Tease me 귓가에서 please me Do you think I'm crazy 어느새 나를 덮쳐와 나를 구원해줘 sweetest melody 어디서 한내 머릿속이 시끄럽기만 하던 세상이 말이 되게 만들어봐 저런 매번 perfect symphony 무작위로 눌려지던 light 죽은 줄 알았던 hopeless time 하나하나 그 사람 나 영원히 꺼지지 않을 symphony 귓가에 맴돌아 oh my gosh 낯선 세상 속에 빠진 날 가엾이 여긴다면 마침표를 허락해줘 제정신은 없냐 미완성인 마냥 침묵정전마저 다르게 들려와 나는 불안정해 그리고 불안전해 서로 알아야 해 Show the with or without Tease me 귓가에서 please me Do you think I'm crazy 어느새 나를 덮쳐와 나를 구원해줘 sweetest melody 어디서 한내 머릿속이 시끄럽기만 하던 세상이 말이 되게 만들어봐 저런 매번 perfect symphony 무작위로 눌려지던 light 죽은 줄 알았던 hopeless time 하나하나 내 사랑은 영원히 꺼지지 않을 symphony 나를 구원해줘 sweetest melody
I mean, I don't know about this one, guys. Look, not every song is going to be a home run. I mean, it's just that it's impossible. Not every song that appears on the channel is going to be a home run. And it's very unrealistic to have that kind of expectation. This just feels like, I mean, this entire song really just kind of feels like, it just feels like a giant showcase for the piano playing. That's all it feels like. Everything else has been, I don't want to say pushed off to the side. It's not that, but I mean, all you gotta do is listen to the mix. Just listen to the levels. Drums, guitar, bass, even vocals are all down here, while the piano playing alone, just the piano playing, is up here. Can someone explain that to me? How is that? How is there any other way to interpret that other than it's a giant piano showcase? Even when the whole band plays in unison, right? Everybody's playing together, and they're all here. And the second the whole band stops and the piano kicks in by itself, it's here. It's here. It's louder on its own than the whole band playing together. Now, don't get me wrong, the piano playing is nice. It's really nice. Some of the best piano playing I think I've ever seen him do, okay? And I will give credit where credit's due. His playing on this is really well done. Without question, okay? Great technique, great talent being demonstrated. I would even go as far as to say that his piano playing, I'll even go as far as to say his piano playing is great. Okay? I will absolutely concede to that. But is this a piano virtuoso, a solo piano player with a band accompanying him, or is he part of a band that supposedly all has equal amounts of importance? And in the past, every other video I've seen from these cats, every other song I've heard from these cats has been equal across the board. All their parts. Equally leveled, equally focused on, equal amounts of spotlight. Not the case here. I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm just going to say it. I just feel like, and I know people are going to get upset with me when I say this, but quite frankly, I do not care. This just feels like a giant ball washing session.
Oh, Mrs. Crane, you're a little monkey woman, you know that? You're a little monkey woman. You're lean, and you're mean, and you're not too far between either, I bet, are you, huh?
I'm sorry, it does. I just feel like, you know, the golf balls are getting really well scrubbed down right now. You know, I really do. I'm not digging this. I'm not digging it. Anyway, let's finish this out and we'll get to the review. And I love how right here, live clip. Live clip. I love how right here, I want you to keep in mind, it does say live clip here. I love how right here, pay attention to what you hear and then compare it to what you see. So here are his hands up here on the microphone, right? Okay. Keep in mind, his hands are up here, not on the keys. And yet, I hear piano. And yet we hear piano. Clear as day. The exact same piano that we heard when he had his hands on the keys. That right there, it's all the evidence I need to dispel any type of illusion that this is actually live. disappointing. Disappointing on multiple sides, on multiple ends, from multiple directions. Just, yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling this one at all. All right. Well, yeah, just keep in mind, everybody, it does say live clip. It does say live clip. That's a shame. All right. Let me get my thoughts together. Oh, boy. I'll see you in the review. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Xdinary Heroes with a tune called Xymphony. This was a request from Charles B. And this was actually one of Charles B's 3 prioritized requests for the month of December for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So, there you go, Charles. I hope you enjoyed the show. Oh, boy. All right. So, there was a lot to take into consideration here. Quite a bit. And I took everything into account. Absolutely, I did. Even the stuff that I know it's gonna upset Xdinary Heroes fans. I know it is. And I'm gonna be saying some things that are probably going to trigger Xdinary Heroes fans. But I'd be lying if I didn't bring these things up. I'd be pretending, and I would be, honestly, at that point, I would be insulting your intelligence, and I'm just not going to do that. So, I know what I'm going to say is not going to be very popular. I know what I'm going to say is going to upset some people. I know what I'm going to say is probably going to even trigger some people, but quite frankly, I don't care. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and that's really all there is to it. So, if you're an Xdinary Hero fan who gets triggered or gets upset when they are not spoken about in the brightest of lights, in the very highest of regards, then you might want to consider turning this video off. You might want to consider hitting that X up there in that corner up there, just to do yourself a favor, and honestly to do me a favor, because I don't want to deal with, I really don't want to deal with the backlash, even though everything I'm going to be saying is backed up. So it's backed up by visual evidence. So anyway, let's get to the score, shall we? Let's just rip off the Band-Aid. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that a 6.4. Yep, 6.4. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. First things first, a 6.4. What does that mean? Well, a 6.4 would translate to a pretty good skill rating, because overall, I think this was a pretty good presentation. It would also get 3 out of 5 stars and a B as in boy, B- letter grade. Yeah, it's a B-. So there you go, a 6.4, pretty good skill rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B as in boy, B- letter grade. Now, how did I come up with that score? So glad you asked. Okay, first things first. Should we just get to all the negative stuff first? No, you know what? I'm going to start with the positive stuff first. I'm going to start with the good stuff. Okay, the song is well written. Okay, it is well constructed. Chordal progressions, melodic lines. Yes, that part was fine. Okay, I absolutely get what they were trying to do. As far as incorporating the straight ahead feel, mixing in with a little bit of a Latin feel, and having them, you know, cut in and out of each other. I saw that, and I have to applaud it because they did it very well. Okay, they absolutely did. You know, at times during the verse, you had that kind of a Latin feel. Doom, 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 doom. You had that kind of going. And then when you had when you got to the chorus, it went to just very straight ahead, straight time feel, snare on 2 and 4. No, the Latin feel just completely gone, and you are left with more of just a straight ahead rock feel. And they would switch back and forth, and I like that. I do like that. I think that was well done. As far as the musicianship goes, I think everybody across the board did a, how should I put this? They did a solid job across the board. I have heard far more intricate, far more interesting, far more impressive playing that I heard on this song from everybody in the band. Okay, I know everybody is capable of playing far more intricately, far more impressively, with a lot more, I don't want to say talent necessarily, but I do feel that everything was kind of dumbed down for this song. Now, maybe that was so that the piano playing could stand out even more. I suspect that's the case. I suspect everybody kind of dumbed down their playing so that it made the piano playing seem more impressively done. But here's the thing, that the piano playing was great on its own. It really was. It didn't need to be, you know, separated from the pack as much as it was, as far as, you know, the level of talent and the level of ability that went into it. I mean, it did a fine job of standing on its own platform. It didn't need to be raised up even more by dumbing everybody else down. But, you know, it is what it is. I mean, and here's the thing, even with the dumbing down, it still sounded good across the board from everybody. Drumming was solid, bass playing was solid, guitar playing was solid, the synth work was solid. Everybody, and even the vocals were solid. The vocals were okay. So here's everybody else, right? Here's guitars, bass, drums, synth. Here they all are. Here are the vocals, okay? And then here's the piano playing, okay? So the vocals were, I think, more impressively done than the instrumentation, other than the piano. The piano definitely stood out on its own. Now, was that done intentionally? I don't know about that. And that's the part I'm not 100% sure as to, well, okay, let me rephrase that. Was that how it turned out? That is how it turned out. The piano playing stood head and shoulders above everything else, including the vocals. Now, my question is, why? Why was that done? Because I haven't seen that done in any of their other songs. I haven't seen, when it comes to an instrumentation standpoint, granted there have been times I've seen the vocals stand above the instrumentation. Okay, I understand that part because there's a bunch of them and they want to do their harmonies and they want to showcase their vocal talent. I absolutely get that. I understand that. But this is the first time I've ever heard any one of their instruments stand above the other instruments and above the vocals. Like the piano was the showcase. Why? I don't get that part. I mean, like I said, is this now even Chick Corea has, and even Chick Corea has equal, you know, sharing of on pretty much every song. Gosh, I don't know. I just feel like this was a virtuoistic approach. You know, let's let the keyboard shine above everybody else, and everyone else is just going to be there, including the vocals, are just going to be there to support what the piano player does. Not really a team effort there, is it? Not really about the band at that point. It's about the piano player. That was the focus. So I don't know. It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. I mean, it's one thing if you listen to Steve Vai. It's another thing if you listen to Joe Satriani. It's another thing if you listen to Yngwie Malmsteen. These guys are guitar virtuosos, you know, and you go into it expecting, you know, them to steal the spotlight. You know it's all going to be about Joe. You know it's all going to be about Steve. You know it's all going to be about Yngwie.
I am your new god, little boys. I'm just amazing. Check this shit.
You know this going in. Going into this song, I didn't know that. I never saw that coming. So when it happened, I was just kind of like, really? Not really what I signed up for. On top of that, there's all that. So here's the thing. The piano playing was, let's be honest, okay? The piano playing was great, absolutely, okay? It was the high point of the entire song. Everything else was just kind of there in support. So I would give this song on its own, I would give it honestly about a 7.4, okay? So, but I'm giving this a 6.4. What in the world made this drop a full point? Well, they had me fooled. They did. They absolutely had me fooled. Up for about the first 3 minutes, they had me fooled. We caught them in the lie. We absolutely did on this one. They allowed themselves to get exposed. They allowed themselves to get caught. I wanted to be sure before I made a big deal about this. I wanted to be sure that because the title, this was on Charles's page on Odyssey. This was not on their official channel. So I thought, okay, maybe Charles put live clip in there. Maybe Charles, you know, maybe on their official channel, maybe they didn't have live clip. Maybe that was a faux pas on Charles's part. So I did two things. First, I double checked and made sure that is exactly what it says on Charles's page, and it is. So then I said, okay, let before I put the blame on Charles, let me go and check out their official page. Let me see what they have on their official page before I accuse them of anything. So I went and looked on their official page. I found the video, and sure enough, the video says live clip. So on their official page, it says Xdinary Heroes, Xymphony, live clip. So all Charles did was take the title that they have on their official page and took it and applied the exact same title to his page. So who do I blame for that? I don't blame Charles. He got that title from their official page. Okay? Charles may not have even known. He might have even been fooled. Okay? So I don't blame him. I absolutely do not put any of that blame on him whatsoever. Nope, this is completely on Xdinary Heroes. It's on their official page. Folks, that what we saw and what we heard were not the same thing. I think what I showed you is all the evidence I need to prove that what we heard was not them playing live. Or maybe it was, but it wasn't from that same video. Those two things are not lining up. How in the world can you have piano playing happening in the song when the piano player who's been playing piano the entire time in the video suddenly takes his hands off the keys and they're up here by his microphone, and yet we hear piano playing?
That's impossible.
That is absolutely impossible. And before anybody says, well, the synthesizer player had his piano playing on a loop and sampled it, so that way it's still live. If that's the case, then that was happening the entire song, because there was absolutely no difference in sound or volume during those verses and during those choruses, that he was quote unquote playing. No, that's impossible as well. So what that says is this was not lining up. The visual, video, and the audio did not line up. It was not the same thing. Maybe what we heard was them playing live from some other source. Maybe they recorded themselves playing live, in a more controlled environment. And then they took that audio and put it, underneath the video footage that they filmed. Now, during the course of the filming, were they playing? Probably were, but they did not line up. And I showed you how it didn't line up. Now, here's the problem with that. If they did not make the claim that this is a live clip, if they did not make the claim that this was a live performance, meaning what you see and what you hear are the exact same source. If they did not make that claim, I would not care. I absolutely would not care. I would look at this and go, it's a music video. Who cares? Okay, so they filmed themselves performing live and they put studio audio underneath. Okay, don't care. That's fine. They're not making that claim that this is live. In other words, they're not lying to us. They're not trying to deceive us. They're not trying to fool us. They're not trying to insult our intelligence. But they are. And the worst part is, now they've done it on this video. They've done it on this one video. What's to say that they didn't do it on the other videos that have live clip in the titles? You see, now doubt has been raised. They did it once. And here's the thing. I know people are like, well, they just did it this one time. Give them a little slap on the wrist. Just a little slap on the wrist, and we'll move forward. I can't, and neither should you, because if they did it once, what's to stop them from doing it again? Who's to say that they didn't do it on every other live clip and they just didn't get sloppy? They just didn't do anything to get caught. You see what I'm saying? Now doubt's been raised. Now everybody's going to look at all those other live clips and wonder, they did on this one. I wonder if this other live clip has the video and the audio from the exact same source, meaning that it really was live. Or do we have video of them playing live with audio from some other source edited in? I mean, it's obvious that these are, these are edited videos. It's very obvious. From all the different camera angles and all the different cuts. But you can still have the audio source. You can still have the live audio source from that performance. but it makes you wonder, doesn't it? That's why I'm docking them. And yes, I am absolutely docking them a full point. You got caught, guys. Plain and simple. And I'm sorry, but I have absolutely no sympathy for that. Like I said, if you had not had live clip in the title, I could care less. But because you made that claim of live clip, well, clearly it isn't. And like I said, I do not blame Charles. Charles probably didn't know either. He probably had no clue. He just took the title that they put on that same clip on their official page. He took that title and used it in the other video that he, added the translations to. Can't blame the man for that. So, anyway, this is why I dropped it down from a 7.4 down to a 6.4. Absolutely. And before people go, well, that's not fair. You're lucky I'm not just disqualifying them outright, like I have done with other bands who have gotten caught. So, I am going to still give them the score. Like I said, the piano playing was really well done. I just don't think it really meshed up well with the song as far as, from a band sharing of responsibility and sharing of the spotlight. This was clearly spotlight on the piano player, without question. Wasn't a big fan of that either. And then to boot, getting caught in the lie. Well, that just sealed the deal. So yeah, 6.4. That is exactly the score I feel that absolutely deserves. And I have absolutely no regrets giving it that score. So let's wrap everything up here at the shiniest bow that we can possibly find. We have a 6.4, which is a pretty good skill rating, 3 out of 5 stars, and a B as in boy, B- letter grade. Take your pick, I don't care, whichever one of those floats your boat. Final word, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.